Hello everyone! Welcome back to Master Course Podcast. This is the fourth episode of Folklore or Cerita Rakyat in English version, and today we are going to read a story about Golden Snail. Hope you enjoy! Long time ago, there lived a king of the kingdom named Kertamarta. He had two daughters named Dewi Galuh and Chandrakirana. Chandrakirana was a very beautiful and kind girl, but his sister was an evil. One day, Chandrakirana was engaged to a prince of Kahuripan kingdom named Raden Inukertapati, who was handsome and wise. The engagement made Dewi Galuh envious to her sister. Then she went to a witch to harm Chandrakirana. The witch agreed to do what Dewi Galuh asked. When Chandrakirana was walking around the palace, the witch came and cursed her. She transformed her into a golden snail. After that, Dewi Galuh threw her sister in a river. One day, an old woman was looking for a fish in a river using nets. When she was about to lift the net, she saw a golden snail transported. Then she brought the golden snail, went to her home, and put it in a jar. Next day, she returned to the river to look for a fish, but unfortunately, she didn't get any. She was disappointed and returned to her house. However, when she arrived, she was very surprised to see a lot of delicious meal had been presented at the top of the table. This incident occurred over and over in the next day. The old woman was curious. She finally decided to find who did it to her by pretending to go to the river. She hid behind her house and peeked at what was going on. Then she saw the snails turn into a beautiful woman and cooked meals for her. Soon, the old woman came into her house. "Who are you?" asked the old woman. "I was the princess of Daha, were cursed by a witch into a golden snail," said her. After telling what had happened to her, she was invited Chandrakirana to stay with her. The news of Chandrakirana's loss made Prince Inukertapati confused and sad. He searched for her all over the kingdom by disguising as a villager. The witch knew what was done by him. She was disguised as a raven to disrupt the prince's effort to meet Chandrakirana. On his own way, Prince Inukertapati was helped by an old man who was great. He hit the bird with his stick until it died. Prince Inu thanked him. He also taught the intent and the purpose of his journey. After knowing what had happened, the old man told Prince Inukertapati to search her in Dadapan village. Afterwards, the prince traveled to the Dadapan village right away. After walking for days, the prince arrived in Dadapan village. He was very thirsty at that time. Then he saw a small hut and approached it. Suddenly, he was shocked because he saw his fiancée was cooking through the window. He immediately entered the hut to see her. And finally, they were both very happy because they met and magic was lost. And the princess told what had happened to her, and she also introduced the old woman who had helped her to the prince. The prince was very grateful to the old woman. Then he brought Chandrakirana and the old woman to the palace. After arriving at the palace, the king was so happy because her daughter had returned. He also knew what had happened to his daughter. Knowing his sister had been found, Chandragalu ran away from the palace because he was afraid of being punished by his father. Finally, Chandrakirana and Raden Inukertapati were married. and they lived happily ever after.